stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Wait, what is their name for it? Did I say the wrong thing?
No, I've heard that.
Harumph.
Harumph.
I don't know what that is.
That was weird though. You went like I don't know.
It seemed purposeful.
Like it seemed like it was
to say something.
It was an
I
exercise.
wasn't. I was literally clearing my throat. Right?
That was like.
Is that okay? Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Am I allowed? It was a bad one. It was right. It was right there. It was like stuck right at the top.
Little dramatic.
It's the worst.
Okie doke.
I've already hit the red button.
Whatever.
So just so we're clear, we've been recording for however many seconds the thing has been going for.
Of course, I can't trust you anyway. I'm always thinking you're doing it.
I am.
And plus, everybody has to know that
What? We're crazy.
you were all dramatic about your harumph.
yeah.
I don't. Why is it called a harum? I was clearing my throat. It doesn't make any sense.
You had a dramatic harumph.
You guys are lame.
I have heard that. That's why I'm like, where'd you get that
guys are
from?
lame.
I've heard it a few times, but the only thing I can think of right now is Cat in the Hat when he was
Oh.
like harumph.
Yeah, he did.
But I've heard it before that. I just can't think of what I heard it on.
Look at his face. That's your favorite movie.
I hate that movie.
I like
It
that
is.
movie still.
Balls.
Whatever, it's silly. I like it.
It's balls.
Does she have a ball?
It doesn't. It doesn't at
It
all.
is fun. You know it is. It's a fun movie.
You'd think because you got Mike Myers and Alec Baldwin, but it's not.
Whatever.
It was pretty cool.
Clusterfuck.
It was, but
But a good one.
it worked.
Anyway,
It's quotable.
It is quotable.
we are here
We are.
trying to get to the shit we missed.
Yes. That's what this month is.
And so to start it off, this was part of our movies so bad they're good. And I don't even remember whose pick this was.
Probably yours.
Okay,
Mom.
so we did Napoleon Dynamite. That was Mom's.
Yeah, that was mine.
Rubber was yours. So yeah,
Yeah.
this must have been mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
rubber.
No reason.
Rubber was fucking awesome, man.
In the absolute best worst way.
Yeah, agreed. Let's see, because I think we're missing something. Oh no, The Fifth Element was mine, so this must have been an extra one. Because we did Rubber, The Fifth Element, and Napoleon Dynamite. So this must have been one that we were just like, we all agreed to do as a group, and then was like, oh, we didn't get to do it because probably Jonna.
No, I could say it's me the last like two times.
I don't know.
Before that,
I'm
no.
putting the blame
Most
on you on this
times
one.
It is you, but
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Putting the blame on you. So anyways, yeah, The Mask.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have read the graphic novel after the movie came out.
Oh,
You were
after.
lucky enough to read it after. Why do you say that?
Because I feel like if I would have seen it before, I would have never liked this movie.
Oh, I see
You
what you're
probably
saying.
wouldn't have given it a chance.
Well, yeah, it would have been like, it would have looked way watered down and corny by proxy. So I'd have been like, nah,
Yeah.
this is trash. Like, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I'm lucky to have read it after. You know, I have
didn't know
no
it was
idea
comic
what it
book.
was doing in the kids' library.
Well,
Yeah.
anything with pictures, they're probably going to consider.
Yeah, they probably
for
didn't
children.
even know. They were like, oh, here's a comic book. Kids like comics, right?
Not that kind of comic book
Yep,
lady.
we sure do.
Plus, you liked reading.
I had the nerve to have all three installments in there. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, The Mask. I forgot what the second one was called, and then The Mask Returns, which has a girl in the mask, and she kicks just as much. It's a good one. You gotta read. You don't gotta read it. You won't.
No, I
but it's a
won't.
good one. It's a good one.
Maybe I'll pick it
It's
up.
incredibly violent.
Oh, yeah. Well, sign me up. No.
So, does anybody remember how this movie starts?
I do.
So do I. So do
It
I.
turns out I didn't delete my
I'm the
notes. I
only
really
one
was
that
so
doesn't
sure I
have her
deleted
notes.
it. Yeah, she's just.
I just
like,
remember
oh,
that
yeah.
it starts in Edge City. A big old title card of Edge City.
I actually didn't. I didn't
You see,
put that
look
down.
at that. Look at that.
All I put scuba divers.
Yeah, they're like, we get some scuba divers. They're scuba diving for like, well, I don't even know what they're doing because it's not like
Yeah, like why are they there in the first place?
they're lucky
don't
enough to
really-
have welding stuff down there, and then they see the chest and they open it and the mask just floats up. Like it's.
I'm gonna assume they were cleaning. That's what it seemed like to me.
With welders underwater. I don't know. No, it's not clear. All I know is
fixing pipes.
They were clearly a good MacGuffin to just get this to get this mask out of that box.
We don't need it to make sense. Just
yep.
Send somebody scuba diving for something.
It is indeed.
So
in the city water at that. It ain't an ocean.
That water looked gross.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's what I imagine the Hudson is, because that's how everybody talks about it. People from New York like,
River.
It's such a gross place.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in there. I don't want to be in there.
Now it doesn't look like a place you want to be in.
I wouldn't know.
The Rock got thrown in there.
Gross.
Lots of people in movies have been in there.
Well, in wrestling, not really in movies.
What?
He was thrown in by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Get out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Good shit.
Hey, unrelated.
It's probably related.
Basketball player from Boston Celtics.
Unrelated.
Threatened the Rock, talking about he would beat him in wrestling, and the Rock apparently was like, one of his statements, like, yeah, not even whatever. But I'm like, is that true? Do you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know,
okay.
yeah. What the
like the statement started crazy. You're like, there's a basketball player on the Boston Celtics. So I was like, well, at least there's like 15.
And you know this name too.
You don't know what I know.
You know the guy.
Oh my gosh, this is too unrelated.
All right, I'm sorry. You
Just
just mentioned The Rock,
Way
and
too
it just made me
unrelated.
think about it.
All right, so now, I mean, this is all we get of the part where they find the mask
That's
and
it.
the treasure chest.
Yeah, that's it.
And then now we cut over. We see this guy. His name is Stanley Ipkiss. He works in a bank.
Kind of a pushover, big softy guy.
He's over taking on stuff for his coworker that he doesn't really want to.
Yeah, he's like, hey, do this for me. He's like, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Doesn't even really fight much.
I guess.
And yeah, so he's this unlucky guy who's just trying to, he's trying to be the man, but he can't be. He's an underdog, and
He's
it's hard to call him an underdog. I think he's just too nice. He has no backbone,
Yeah,
so his
that's what it
personality is that of a guy who has no backbone.
he's a limp noodle.
Yeah, limp noodle, stupid.
But so this he tries to get a date at work with tickets to a concert, I guess.
With this, does she work there? Is that the whole deal? The girl he asked initially.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, she does.
Yeah.
Because he does. He's like, yeah, I got these tickets. He's like, I got 2. She's like, oh, cool. Me and my friend can go. We've been trying to get these. And he was like, wow. No, that's cool. You and your friend go have a good time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Super push.
She would have just had to miss out on them tickets.
Kind of like, oh, you want to take your friend? I want to take mine too.
Yeah, that's cool. You do that on your dime.
Yeah.
And pay for your friend.
I know, but there's people, that do that.
Yeah, and honestly, I would not feel bad. And
I'm saying she's douchey.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying, and I wouldn't feel bad snatching those tickets right back out of her hand. Yeah. Only in the age of the internet would someone try to make you feel bad about it, like, oh no, you already gave her the ticket. I'm like, nah, fuck that.
That's his money.
If I brought you 2 tickets, I didn't bring you 2 tickets for you and your friend to enjoy.
And that's what I mean. The assumption, like, really?
It's you go ahead and take 1 ticket.
And then on top of that, like, my thing is like, do y'all even talk on the phone? Why would you assume that he wasn't asking you out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you aren't cool enough to where you'd be like, oh yeah, I'll hook you and your friend up.
Right?
Like, you don't.
Nah.
You presume a lot.
She was just a bitch.
Yeah. She played him because she knew he wouldn't. Yeah.
He wouldn't do anything.
He wouldn't do anything.
Backbone.
Yeah. I understand that feeling.
But if ever there was a moment to show you can, I'm just saying.
But so now, what do we get to?
Cameron Diaz.
It's raining outside. She comes out from the rain. She's all glowing.
She's got that weird babushka thing on her head for no reason.
Did she?
Yeah, because it was raining. She took it off, and then she's wearing sunglasses like she's, what was it? Thelma and Louise, some shit, or Bonnie and Clyde or whatever.
Thelma and Louise.
I think whichever one of them is, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not
But
sure
you get
what analogy
but
you're
you
going
get
for.
where I'm getting at.
I'm not sure if you're making those two analogies.
You get where I'm
They're not
getting
the
at.
same.
It's old Hollywood is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
It's got an
We'll go with
old
that.
Hollywood look about her.
Okay. I'll
And
go
this
with
is
that.
Cameron Diaz.
Yes, in her I don't know, debut role, but
Definitely
enough.
leading
Yeah.
as a leading lady in a movie.
Yeah.
Probably where she's been most recognized initially.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
You know she was supposed to do Mortal Kombat.
Mm.
And then she got hurt.
The old one?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't
And
know
then
that.
I think she got hurt and then they replaced her with what's her name? Veronica Vaughn. I don't know her name. I just know that she was in Billy Madison
Oh.
as Veronica Vaughn.
Oh, okay.
She's in other stuff too, but
Anyway.
yeah. So yeah, she comes in and she's doing I don't know what she's here for because she never makes it really clear.
It's kind of confusing.
He just starts talking about stuff. He's just like, oh yeah, we have savings and checkings and bonds and stocks and weirdness. And then he sharpens a pen and because he's a bumbling idiot now.
Yeah, pretty much. He's all extra nervous around her and stuff, so he's just making a fool of himself. And then she's like, she doesn't notice he's making a fool of himself.
Well, she doesn't care because she's got a secret camera in the purse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she's casing the joint and you see the bank
Yeah.
robbers and all this stuff and they're like, yeah, that's good. Get all that footage. It's like, how much footage can you really get from that one angle?
Yeah, all
You know what
you're
I mean?
getting
Like-
is the guy.
Yeah, and maybe the safe if that's where you're aiming it at. But like, you would need where the cameras are located, exits, how many security guards are on. Like, there's a lot of other things you would need in order for this to be successful in any way, shape, or form.
You've given this a lot of thought, haven't
I want to rob a bank so bad.
I've thought about this too.
you?
I'm like, somehow.
I know I could if I had the
Wow.
right team and a little bit of financial
You
support.
don't trust me?
Wow.
If I had the right team, no, Jonna, you would have an anxiety attack halfway through about getting caught, and we wouldn't even be able to get in.
Yeah, the only problem I would have is that everything would have to be perfect, and if somebody's not being perfect,
No,
then
see,
the whole
but you
thing
gotta-
is just-
OCD
But
would
you gotta
kill it.
you gotta be able to improvise. You have to. If you can't improvise, you can't come.
as soon as one thing goes wrong,
You
we're
need
fucked.
nope. You need.
Oh, God, I might as well just turn this in now.
I'm sorry, you can't be a part of my crew if you don't have at least 4 years improv experience. That's a requirement. I don't care about any of your other skills. I don't need you to be able to pick a lock. I don't need you to be able to be a driver. I need you to have 4 years of improv skills just in case.
Yeah.
'Cause if you don't, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
What's
So
the improv
anyway.
gonna do? Entertain the cops?
When the cops get here, you be like, you distracted. Like, okay, I need a place. And they can't help it. Movie cops are the biggest idiots of all time. And they're going to be like, New Jersey. And you're like, all right, we got New Jersey. All right, now somebody give me a thing.
Warehouse on 42nd.
They're idiots. Movie cops are complete idiots.
They are. Movie
Yes.
cops.
Always have been, always will be.
They don't do anything but shoot
this
and never
movie
make a
is-
No,
shot.
it's no
No
different. This
exception.
movie is no different.
But so I guess these are the bad guys that are watching through this
Right.
camera, and they're talking about stuff, and they're talking about this
Just-
guy named Nico being so bad.
Yeah, just typical bad guy stuff.
Yeah.
It's really like common. They're just like, oh, wait, this is gonna be such a big score. Hey, does Nico know you're doing this? He's like, man, you fuck Nico. He doesn't need to know. He'll be happy. Blah blah blah. When we get the money. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Classic. You're classic. You know.
Yeah.
Underboss trying to go over the bigger boss's head, trying to type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a classic scenario.
So
Oh, you good?
So no, I was looking at it. I was trying to remember, but so his coworker, who was supposed to be his friend,
Charlie.
invited him to
Charlie.
the club. Okay, whatever.
Well,
Charlie.
I do have to point this out. She leaves, and Charlie sniffs her seat. Yes, he sniffs the seat.
He
It
did.
is fucking weird.
Gross.
Ew.
Yeah, because he's that guy. He's definitely the which is weird to say in a movie with Jim Carrey in it, but he's the comedy relief in a way.
Yeah.
What is that? Richard Jennings. Is that how you say it? Richard Jennings? Right?
Wait, who is that? That name sounds That's his name?
Yes.
Yes.
The comedian.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's who that
He's
is.
the dude who plays Charlie.
I was
and
like, that sounds familiar.
So he sniffs the seat, and
I
then
wouldn't
you're
sniff
right.
anyone's seat. It's like, it doesn't matter how hot you are. Your farts are still going to stink.
Man, I'm sorry. I mean, she's okay, but I'm not sniffing her seat.
I bet her farts still stink, though.
I'm pretty sure they do.
That's
That's
what I'm saying.
weird.
Like, people are weird that
but
sniff
if you're trying
underwears
to,
and things
but if
like
you're
that.
trying to be like, oh, she's so hot, I'd sniff that seat. It's like
Ew,
maybe just for me.
gross.
I'm black. I don't know if there's a difference here, but you got to go hotter. you got to go hotter. You got to go hotter if you're gonna have that scene.
But-
you got to go hotter.
Look, I think The Rock is hot. I wouldn't sniff his damn seat.
But that's not something that you don't see a woman doing in the
Gross.
movie. You see
Yeah,
gross
first of all.
dudes doing it. So if you're gonna do it, you got to up the hotness one for me. You can't just be. this is to me. I mean, Cameron Diaz is like she's like average hot. She's not like super
I
hot.
think she was really cute back then.
Yeah, but she's still like average hot. She's not like I'm not breaking a date for her. Like, you know what I mean?
But she was fair cute.
Yeah, that's average. Cute is average.
Is it?
I think so. What do you guys talk? We're talking about in
think I've seen a
terms.
lot.
He's talking,
We're talking about
he's
in
talking-
terms of like actual like hot people, not like it's ugly and then cute.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying? Like
okay.
in terms of people who are already good looking.
I was like,
she is.
I said, I don't know what I am.
She's like she's an average good looking person.
Great.
I
There's
wouldn't-
no chance for me.
I'm not putting her in my top 10 nowhere.
I get you. You know, I can see that. I can see that.
She probably ain't breaking my 50 either. when I think about it. If I have time to write
You got
that,
changed.
if I got time to write that list out, yeah, she definitely won't.
All right, so he has to drive in a club
To the Coco Bongo Club,
in this car called the Loner, in which he tried to get his car fixed at this.
and they
Oh,
fucked him.
yeah.
They
Why
fucked
you
drive the
say
loner?
in this car called the Loner? It's a loner.
Yeah, I don't know, but they called it the Loner.
The way they said it, like it was special,
Yeah.
but it was
Loner.
they screwed him because they basically started saying all this stuff was wrong, which probably wasn't, but because he doesn't know any better, they were just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Or he just
they were
wanted
like,
to be
yeah,
safe.
that's broken.
You're gonna need
That's
a new
broken.
transmission in
He
your
was like, I
something
literally came in here
shot.
for a tire change.
Yeah,
They fucked him. Yeah, they fucked him.
Screwed him up
So
right.
That's why you never go without somebody you trust. I wouldn't go without Dad
Yeah.
because he knows the stuff.
yeah.
Yep.
No matter how much I listen, and I'm like, Dad, what's your take on this?
Yeah, rear axles, got it. Exhaust. Oh,
Now are the axles located somewhere in the middle?
no, they're rear axles, so they're in the rear. I know that much. The rear of what? I don't know, but they're in the rear of it.
I really be trying to follow too.
Look, I know what wheels are.
Shauna, I can
got
tell
that.
when she's like, I can tell when she when she's trying to follow, and then when she's just like gone.
I do that thing like they do with cartoon characters. My eyes.
I was like
she starts getting
in the Simpsons.
Her
In the
eyes
Simpsons,
get
when
like-
Homer has the monkey playing cymbals in his brain.
yeah, she's like this. She'd be like, oh.
I'd be like, okay. Let
Mom,
me
we're doing a
reflect on
podcast.
this.
Nobody can see what you just did.
Whatever.
Not a soul.
She definitely looks like she's
Yeah. So after these
lights are on, nobody home.
greasy ass mechanics screw him, they get him the loner, and he pulls up with it,
Loner. First of all, I wouldn't pull up to the front.
It's
I
a
just park
bucket.
somewhere way down
and
the
then
street.
had the nerve to have valet try and park. Like, no, he gave him a push off and everything.
Oh,
like
my
I'd park
gosh.
way down the street where
yeah.
there's free parking. or something.
hubcap fell off. Like, yeah. First off, I'm just not going.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at that point, I'm
That's-
not going to.
because there was
I'm
no
gonna be
Uber
depressed.
and
But
stuff back then.
Charlie's
Oh,
got,
but he could have
look,
took a taxi.
First off, Charlie's got a nice car. That nigga had to
better
come.
off.
That nigga would have to come pick me up,
Right.
Because he got the top down joint and all that stuff. Yeah, he would have to come
What a
pick me up.
douche! And why does he get? How can he afford that?
Because
More than him?
he's probably
They have the same
better
job,
at
right?
his job than
Oh.
Stanley is.
Okay,
You know, it's hard to sell things when you're a nice guy.
true.
Got to be kind of a dick sometimes. You got to be aggressive. That's what they tell you in sales
This is
all
why
the
you
time.
want to spend $1,000 more.
They do. They try
No,
to.
it's
They try
true.
to, and they scare you,
That's
especially
what it
if
is.
you don't know what you're
Upsell.
talking
You gotta
about.
upsell.
Got to upsell everything.
Yeah, I'd be worried. I'd be like, all right, I'm just not going to get anything.
You know, because I'm pretty sure they probably work on some sort of commission there or something like that. So Charlie's probably
Yeah. Per account.
he's probably better at it than Stanley. So that's why his car is baller.
Okay.
And so yeah,
So they're getting in the front of the club. This is when his friend ditches him, He can't get in the club for whatever.
Because his dumbass turns around to tell people that he's going inside.
Oh,
and the space between him and Charlie becomes apparently insurmountable, and he can't get in. And the guy who already saw him with him was just like, nah. The bouncer was just like, nah, you can't come in. He was like, no, that's my friend in there. He was like, nope, sorry, you can't come in.
What a dude.
And then he's screaming, he's like, Charlie. And of course, no, he can't hear now. Or see. So,
or just notice that he's not right behind
I would have
him.
noticed from the gate, because the moment we get past there, I'd always, like, anytime I've gone to a club, when we start moving in, I look back, because I need to know everybody. I need to know everybody that we came with is with us right now.
Right. Be like, okay,
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And if they're not, I'll wait like right on the inside. As soon as I get in, I'll be like, all right, 1, 2, okay, we're all good. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a good friend right there. A good friend.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
Waits till their friend ties their shoe and then be like, all right, let's catch up with the group.
That's how we used to do. I mean, because, like, especially when you go places, like we were in Vegas and stuff like that, I don't want to get separated from my peoples in Vegas with a bunch of surrounded by people I don't know, and then I got to fight and I don't have nobody with me.
Yeah, no.
I need somebody with me.
Somebody.
That's the first thing you think of.
Because it's happened. One time we went to Vegas,
Okay.
Malcolm got into it with some dude in the bathroom. So me and Daniel had to be there. If we weren't there, this nigga gets jumped. And then what? You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because people are rude as hell. You just bump right by him and shit like that. You know, you be like, hey, dog. Like, here's the thing. If you bump into somebody, an excuse me will suffice it. My bad. Oops,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
But if you just bump through somebody and just keep it pushing, immediately it's disrespect.
This is it. We're fighting.
There's like, yeah, it's go time, man. It's red flags up in here, and
now
I'm a bull.
I think you meant it.
Right.
Would you think otherwise? Somebody just bumped you and was just like, just kept pushing.
like
we both felt it.
Yeah.
We both felt it. You can't tell me you didn't. So yeah. So yeah.
Always say excuse me. 'cause
Charlie's a
otherwise
really
you're
bad.
asking for a fight.
Charlie's just a really bad friend.
And he's kind of a dick.
He was trying to keep
saw those ladies.
He was trying to keep him to himself. Well, they came with him, I believe.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they came with him
Oh,
I love how they try to make him like this ladies
ladies'
man.
because he's confident and he drives a nice car.
yeah. That is what it takes, huh?
I guess.
Yeah.
You
Confidence, and if you tell a girl, you'll buy her a drink.
Yeah, well, they'll take the free drinks.
They're like, okay, screw it, let's go.
That's why I don't offer.
You gonna buy my friends drinks too?
See, and that happens, and there's lines. We need to go back. Like, I feel like there needs to be a class over like etiquettes and things like that, because most people don't know that shit.
It depends who you're dealing with.
Nope.
Like if you're dealing with an ultra rich dude who's obviously just like
I'm
to
still
take
not,
girls out and
but I'm still not
be
paying for
fancy.
your friends.
But if you are one of those dudes
If
that
I
like,
had
does that,
a cajillion dollars and I was talking to a girl and I offered to buy her a drink, and then she goes, like, she hits one of them with her friend and was like, oh, you got to get her a drink too, I'm immediately out of the situation, because that's weird.
You
That's
know
weird,
why
because
they
that
do
means
that?
anytime I take her out, I got to take her stupid
You know
friend
why?
out. Nah, I'm not doing that.
Because the dudes that do accept that are usually because these are the things they do often.
Wait, what?
Because they're dudes that just want women around them. And so they will do that.
Oh, that's fine.
That's why girls ask.
But that's what I say.
Entertained
I
before.
won't. Like, I'm not doing it.
Well,
If I'm about
it's
to
a
pay you,
serious date, and
if
you're-
I'm paying for your drink, not even if it's serious a date.
mean,
if
or not serious,
if I'm
but-
at a bar and I approach you and I offer to pay to buy you a drink as a icebreaker so we can have a convo or whatever the case may be, that is not cue to call your friend over and be like, oh,
No.
she gets one too, right?
But they try it because their dude will be like, yeah, heck yeah.
I'll be like-
Threesome.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'll do is I'll be
Yeah.
like, sure, and then when no one's looking, I'll be like, put it on her bill. Like, I'll straight up be like, yeah, put that on hers. That's on her tab. She'll get that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, you want to play
kinda
me?
funny.
I'll play you. Everybody's getting played today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't get in, and he's very sad about it, and he goes home and does what I would do.
What's that?
Well, he doesn't get there yet. He thinks
The car breaks down.
Well, yeah, his loner breaks down.
Oh, yeah.
And then he thinks he sees someone drowning. Which
this is on the bridge.
this is so stupid. Every time I see it, it gets stupider and stupider.
Okay, when I saw it, and even then when we saw it to watch the movie for the podcast, I was thinking, that is a person
It never looked like a person.
It did.
It did at first.
It looks like garbage.
You never look in the corner of a room and see like a jacket on a chair and be like, who
Sure, but I'm not
is
looking at the corner of a room. I'm looking right at this movie. He looks down. The only thing you can see is an outline of the mask, which is the only thing that looks remotely like a face.
Trash
but it's floating trash because it's in the water.
It was in the shape of somebody.
Nah, it was in an amorphous blob shape.
No,
and then what's more upsetting is the closer he gets to it, he doesn't go, that's trash.
No, he gets get all the way over.
He gets close enough to touch it. And I'm just like, I would have known. The moment I got to that bottom step or that bottom rock, I'd have been like,
yeah, I would have got close. Close. I'd have been like, oh, never mind.
Good thing no one's here to see this. And he does. He goes in and he tries to save this drowning man by clotheslining him, I guess. I don't know what the plan was here, but it wasn't a good one. He was like, smack.
Wow.
I don't know what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But then he finds this mask and he's like, and it does a little sheen. It's pretty cool. And he's about to put it on for whatever reason.
Like that. Okay, that's one thing. The way that mask looks, number one. What tells you that you could put it on?
Got it.
Because it doesn't even look like it would stay on your face.
It just came out of dirty garbage water.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's that. And it just...
You're just going to put that on your face.
Yeah.
Also, it's a stupid mask because it's like... It's not a mask you just want to like mess around with because it doesn't have straps, so it's not like you can just wear it.
That's
you have
what
to
I'm saying.
hold it to your face the whole time. That's a pain in the ass. Who wants to do that? Why here? Why not? What is wrong with you, man? And then the cops are like, "Hey, what's going on down there in this pile of garbage?" And he was like, "Oh,
I'm just looking for my mask.
I found it."
Like
mask.
Really?
Okay. Okay.
I'd have been like, "Nah, that dude buried a body. We gotta get him.
I'd have been like,
we gotta
weird.
get him. That is weird. That is 100% weird. You were just looking for. Why did you mask for what? We got a whatever number. We're calling it in. We got to get this guy. Everything he says sounds suspicious right now. He's dressed a little too inappropriately for some guy who's looking for a mask in garbage water.
Yeah.
This guy is weird. Nah, it's weird. Everything about him was weird. So he goes home and watches cartoons, which is what anyone would do.
Anyone?
I like how you specify this is normal.
It is. It is 100% normal.
For a grown ass
And if you don't think that it's normal, there's something wrong with you. This is what
in his pajamas.
When if I had a day like those pajamas are what the fuck. I kind of want to know where he's getting them, man, because he's got so many, and they're just like the coordination.
It's just really trying to show how magoo he is.
Well, it could be worse because
might think he lives in a poor apartment.
Yeah,
are those cheap pajamas? If not,
that's where all his money is going. Not clearly pajama money. He's got a pajama fund, and that's it.
That's what it seemed like.
Because it's not even an apartment; it's like a bad motel room.
His pajamas are more expensive than his suit wardrobe.
It really looks like a motel. It is a motel room because it's like everything is right there. His bed, his couch. It's one of those. It's like they call it a studio, but that's a motel room.
New York, right? New York.
It's Edge City, which is probably New York.
But that's what I'm saying. Like New York style places. Well, from what I've seen in the movies, are usually like really poor like that.
That's how you show that this character is downtrodden.
Yes,
and
they live in a bad neighborhood in these apartments.
He's got
that's not even
piece of shit landlord lady who keeps hustling them,
yelling at him, and banging on the door and all that stuff.
She's like, "Keep it down! You're dripping on my floor." Because he's soaking wet from trash water. Which, if I'm her, I'm upset too. Because it probably stinks. He smells like trash.
Probably.
Yeah. So then he's watching cartoons. He's having a good time because that's what you do when you watch cartoons. And then he's like, he just starts like being called to the mask, I guess. Mm-hmm. Is that what's happening?
I don't know.
Like, you ever just bring home something and you're like, I'm not that interested in it. You just put it down a sec, and then you're just doing something. You see it, you're like, I might fuck around a bit. I think that's the kind of moment.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm trying to think.
I don't think I've ever brought something home and not immediately been like, all right, new thing, time to mess with it.
Something that you just got, it's like, it doesn't really, you're like,
I think that still works. Like, I think that applies to just about everything. Like as soon as I get something new, I want to use it.
Yeah,
like immediately. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Like
I want to play it. I want to play something out.
when I got that beard kit, I took a shower so I could wash my beard just so I could use it because I really wanted to use it.
True.
I was like, yeah, let's go. We here now. Like that's how it is.
It's true. You get anything. You can get a new body wash or something.
Yeah, I'd be like, I had to take a shower right now.
It's true. As soon as I get a spray from Bath and Body Works,
Right,
I'm
right,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna spray it on me now.
You get a candle, anything. It don't really matter. As soon as you get something new, you just want to try it. Also, I think because he kind of saw it as garbage, that's the difference. Because he just found it
home.
It's all weird, man. Everything. He's got nothing going on.
Well, that's the thing, because he definitely doesn't have nothing going on. So I guess it was just that's why I was calling him. It's like,
Yeah. He was like, well, nah.
And again, putting it on his face though. It just seems well, I want to say it's a stretch, but again, you know how other folks can be.
I keep forgetting to put this button in here.
I feel like they could have. Wait, what button? What button?
White people. I'll get that in there.
No, but I think it would have made more sense if like he would have found it and he was just like, oh shit, this is crazy looking. I could just clean it up, buffer it a bit and then sell it.
I feel
but then maybe he could have been like, oh, maybe I'll keep this for myself. And that could have been more. I don't know. I feel like that would have made more sense.
I think when it's all said and done, that if he was shown to be a collector of some sort, maybe you could justify the weirdness of how he just, because even when he first starts to like put the mask on, he does it slowly. Like he knows something's up, which is weird in and of itself. It's just a mask.
I'm gonna be honest.
What?
When I was a kid, if I found a special rock, I'm like, this looks really cool. It has power. I would act all.
What is wrong with you?
That's exactly how I would act.
No,
like,
this is weird. But once again, it's weirder because this is a grown ass man who got this mask out of garbage water. We can't stress that enough.
Maybe
he took it home, threw it like it was nothing, and then was like, "I'm bored. Let's put this mask on." And was like,
he missed.
And he kept looking. He was like, "Dun dun 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 dun."
He missed that childhood phase, baby.
Nah. He was, and then it starts to like kind of fuck with his face. He's like, "Holy shit." Better go all the way.
Right. Yeah. That didn't make him not.
That thing came out like a face hugger in Aliens, and this dude was like, "Yeah, let's do it again." And then this first transformation is kind of gross.
Think is because what they say, later in the movie, like he kind of feels good when he has it on.
Well, he didn't know that. He never had it on.
No, but I'm saying later on in the movie. But I'm saying maybe that little thing, he was like, "Well, that kind of felt interesting." And
I'm sorry. That thing starts to get the face hugging me. I immediately think Aliens, and I'm out. I'm throwing that shit too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he got a touch of that confidence that he knows he never feels. He doesn't have any confidence at all.
But it wasn't going to happen with that little touch of the mask. It wasn't going to happen.
That. No, it was just.
Did you put it on?
I think it's just weird.
It was
just weird.
It was just that crazy curiosity that he could not.
That white people curiosity.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The first time that thing reached out and touched me, I'd have been like, "What the fuck is this?"
That thing is gone.
You're like, "Yo, what's the heaviest thing I have in this house? Because I'm smashing this mask to bits." And then I'm taking every bit to a different trash can just to make sure it doesn't come back together, or at least I have time. If it does, that's creepy. No, I can't. So he does. He puts this mask on, and his first transformation is all Tasmanian devil tornado twisters, and he literally becomes a living cartoon.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Is that what it is? He say, "Smoking."
Says something about somebody stopping him.
Somebody stop me.
He's got catchphrases.
Yes, he does.
He immediately has catchphrases.
Does he have that in the book?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. They're more though, because it's a lot of violent stuff. He kills people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this stuff is ripped from the comics,
right?
But completely toned down.
Right. They just took the essence of it, and
because he's trying to leave his house to go do whatever he's gonna do today.
Oh,
And his landlord.
Okay, so the first thing he does, he uses a jackhammer to stop his alarm clock or whatever.
Well, because it goes out of his pocket when he's trying to sneak past the landlord lady's door, and that happens. It's all this different, like oh, don't make any noise, and then little noises keep happening. Oh, I stepped on this, and then that's when the alarm
gets a
clock.
Jackhammer, and he's just banging.
Sledgehammer. He gets a sledgehammer
is the one
and
that
whams
you like that.
I thought
it was a sledgehammer.
they were called jackhammer.
No,
It was a sledgehammer.
there is a jackhammer.
There
but
is a
it's not
jackhammer.
that.
Those are the
That's the
construction
thing that
worker things.
on the concrete. Grrr.
You put that in your notes, didn't you?
No, hold on.
You did.
No,
No,
I'm
she's
looking
looking up.
this
Jackhammer.
Jackhammer.
It's the thing look like a pogo stick.
It does look like a pogo stick.
You guys are right.
Duh.
I was sure
You
that
think I was wrong?
I was sure.
So
that
she comes out and she tries to shoot him because she sees this weirdo in a green mask, which is fair. I would totally try to shoot this guy, and he gets the Bugs Bunny and bouncing off the walls, and he ends up out the building.
jumps out the window, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And this is the thing. So I was always curious because it doesn't explain it in the comics either. If the moment he got it, he knew what he was able to do. Because how do you know you're going to survive that fall?
Or did he know it consciously? Or did
That's what I
the
mean.
Feeling.
That's what I mean, because it feels like only one time in this movie does anybody have control over the mask itself. And that is closer to the end when old boy gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than this, it just seems like he puts it on and shit happens.
Yeah.
And he's not really in control of what's happening. So it's like, but that's always like the shit that happens and stuff like this, like good guy, bad guy shit. Like it took Iron Man fucking weeks to figure out how to work an Iron Man suit, and then his boy Jebediah in the first one gets in, and he's already a pro with this.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
The
Bad guys are
just
always
know
good
all
with shit.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It's
It's
true.
weird. I don't like it. I want to see his training montage
Interesting.
where he's fucking around trying to fly in this
Yeah,
suit
that's
and it
BS.
just falls.
That's BS.
It is. But it's super convenient. Well, he does. He has complete, he falls and he makes the roadkill joke, which I don't think is very good. But when I was a kid, it fucking killed. That shit brought the house down.
And he runs into thugs on the street.
Yeah. And they try to rob him and
Doesn't he pull out the fake gun? Oh no.
well,
he doesn't
they chase him and he ends up in the alley and he becomes like an old 1950s carnival dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then that's when he was like, I do balloon animals. And then he's like, he gives one person a giraffe. He tries to give the dog and then kills it. He goes, sorry, the dog had rabies. Had to put it down.
Yeah.
The guy was actually, oh.
Yeah, he was all sad about it. And then he was like, my personal favorite. And that's when he makes
the Tommy gun.
Tommy gun. And it turns into the gun. And they're all like, holy shit. And that does happen in the comics. And he kills all those people.
Wow.
They survive in this because no one dies in this, which
No,
is,
I don't think- no.
well, one person
Wait.
does, but we do see him die.
You see a couple of people die.
I see one. I think I only see one like legitimate death, and then a bunch of like, they
implied.
probably- yeah,
Implied.
but you'd only see one, which is, I guess, what is this, PG-13? That makes sense
Good question.
because I don't think it was R.
Was there PG-13 back then?
Yeah,
When did that come?
probably like
It's
I don't
rated
know.
PG-13, yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know when it started, but it had to have started
And then
since I was a
doesn't
kid.
he go back to the auto place and do something?
Oh yeah, because he was like
I just remember the controversy. That's why I'm saying.
I think he doesn't rob a bank yet. Oh, he does. He fucks with those people, and then he makes a statement where he's
it's
like,
1984.
he was like,
Before
with
you were
these
born.
powers, I could be a superhero. He was like, but first, and then that's when he
But
goes.
first.
That's when he goes
Oh,
to
yeah.
the
He said, I can be a
to the bank.
superhero.
no, he doesn't go to the bank. He
No.
goes back to that car shop that fucked him
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Honestly, wouldn't that be you? Like you get powers suddenly, and you just be like,
And
I can
that's
be a superhero.
and
you're
that's
like, first.
probably why mine haven't came in yet. Because I'm
You might do
start
some bad
righting
things in the
wrongs.
first.
Oh, I would be writing a lot of wrongs. I hold grudges. I know I've got names in this head from second grade.
We'd
You
all,
better-
we'd all like
My
to
gosh.
think we'd do good, but
Nah,
let's be honest.
I would charge for my services.
I mean, how else are you going to support yourself?
Yeah, what am I supposed? Like that's the whole thing.
What?
Spider-Man is the only one who had it right, even though he was still doing it at a lower level, where he would just take pictures of himself and sell them shits. Like that is fucking genius
I saw
in and
a
of
post that
itself.
said it was like the first version of OnlyFans.
Yeah, it really was. Like he was genius. Everybody else is just doing shit for free. Like Superman is out there saving the world and then goes back to being he's not a very good reporter, so it's not like he's reporting on shit. The fact that he has a job is insane. They'd be like, "Oh, Superman, you just missed, or it's Clark, you just missed the scoop." He'd be like, "Oh, I was there." He's like, "Well, could you write about it? Like, what the fuck?" We need you to do something around here, buddy.
Yeah.
You've been getting off on Lois's good grace. It's time for your 6'5", 250 pounds of pure muscle to do something, Clark.
I know. But nobody's wondering why he's like got a
asshole.
good.
Yeah, this dude's built like a tank, and everyone's just like, "Get out of here, you mild-mannered reporter." Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Him and Batman.
I mean, what?
Just like, because he in like comic books, he's big.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like in costume. So when you see Bruce Wayne, you're just like, damn, that's a big motherfucker.
Well,
like,
okay. I'm not as surprised. I wouldn't be as surprised at him, being he's wealthy. He can afford a personal trainer.
but not in those, because that's not how wealthy worked in those. Like when
no.
if anything, he was either like, he would be super skinny or super fat. Like there wouldn't be
Yeah.
any in between with a guy like him, because
Yeah, they weren't. There was no fit, and it was just,
it was just spending money.
I mean, it was you could look a certain way, but they weren't working out. They just did some weights.
Yeah, they did
and that's pretty.
aerobics. But yeah, he would have been.
Does Gotham really have a time?
Yeah, night.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, 1950s. Yeah.
Even now.
1950s, always. It doesn't matter what version of Gotham it is. The police still wear those stupid hats and all that
but
stuff.
some things are updated.
They still have the mob.
But I'm like, some things are still like advanced.
Still
in their
1950s.
world.
They're stuck.
I know.
They're
That was
stuck.
when he was watching Gotham.
Gotham. Yeah, they have
But
cell phones.
But they have cell
but
phones.
no lights anywhere.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's
Lamps
like,
and
what
shit.
is
Totally
this?
confused on the.
It is, I'm telling you, the world is stuck. Like, yeah, sure, they got cell phones now, but they're still stuck.
And they're driving old cars.
That's
and
why.
wearing-
Yeah, they're still driving old cars and, hey guys, see, yeah, that's Gotham.
the typical detective look.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Old school.
Yeah, they do all the same stuff.
All right, so now what do we ask?
Yeah, so he does muffler butt stuff to these guys, and they, honestly, they had it coming. And then Stanley thinks it's a dream.
Oh yeah. He wakes up and the first thing, a detective knocks on his door.
That was quick.
I
I was
know,
like,
right?
yeah, it's so well because they knock on his door because they're like, oh, there was a disturbance here. Your landlady was like, and he was like, no, I don't remember any of that. He was like, so you slept through the whole thing? He was like, there's like, am I the only one who lives here? You know what I mean? A bunch of other people probably did too. No one else came outside of their door while she was blasting rounds off and shit like that.
Look, I'm a heavy sleeper. I'd probably sleep.
That's what I'm saying. But it was so weird because he said, nope, didn't hear anything. And this dude's like putting his foot in the door. I was like, that's not how this works, officer. Like his problem is this cop, he's bad at his job. He hates Stanley from the beginning for no reason whatsoever.
reason.
He's just like, fuck you, guy. You did it. Whatever it is, you did
I feel
it.
sorry for him. It's like he's just a normal guy who's just like hasn't had it good in life. Like,
And he's just
the
like,
greatest-
look, whatever it is. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Stanley.
Stanley. Yeah.
like,
No, the cop is just an asshole.
And for the cop to come up, yeah, you questionable.
He's like, you
probably
definitely did it. You definitely did it. He's like, did
don't
what?
even know what
I don't
it
even
is.
need it. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
First of all, how can you look at him in his pajamas and think,
then-
yep, definitely
yeah.
him?
And then he realizes that he's late for work, but he also realizes that it wasn't a dream. And then he throws the mask out, goes to work, but the mask comes back.
Yeah.
Boomerangs its ass all the way back. And, that's a red flag for me. Yeah. So.
Super red flag. He goes to work late and his boss is a dick. That's what
Yeah,
I literally put in my.
Well,
So
yeah,
he
because
goes
that's
to
what
work
they
late,
keep saying.
boss
Because
is-
like he doesn't do anything, and they're like, "Oh, that's the boss's son." It's not his boss. He's the boss's
yeah.
son, and because that's
Yeah.
what Charlie says. He was like, "Yeah, I'd be sitting high and mighty too if my daddy owned a bank and all that shit." Then he meets Peggy, and
yeah.
Peggy
journalist.
Brandt, I believe, is her name.
Who knows?
remember.
She's
I
just
probably,
Peggy.
yeah, she's Peggy.
She's a journalist.
And he's like, holy shit, I know you. You wrote that story. Nice guys finish last. I'm Mr. Nice Guy. And I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. All right. A little creepy. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but I guess, I don't know. She gives him her number, I guess. Doesn't she? I don't know. Something.
I can't remember.
I think she does. I think she gives him the card at least. Like
she asks questions about mechanics.
Yeah, because he
Oh,
goes to the
right.
mechanic and they got fucked up. And she's doing.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah, they show. She
investigative
walks by
work.
them. They show them coming out on stretchers with a muffler up his ass, the big dude, and I was like, yeah,
Yikes.
that's what you get. The fact that
I do remember
the fact that he is still conscious through that whole thing,
Ow.
fucking amazing. Because I'd have passed out.
Ow.
I would have passed out, and I would have stayed passed out till they removed the muffler.
Let's see. Dorian, one of the bad dudes or whatever
Yeah.
at this time.
He was-
Main bad
He gets a
dude.
threat from
Well,
Nico.
he meets Nico, and Dorian's kind of an asshole. Nico's a bigger asshole. So this is like fun asshole behavior stuff going on here. Where he's like, he does a thing where he's like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm about to make us a lot of money. He was like, no, you don't go over the boss's head. And he's like, they I love mob threats and like, because they're always like so intricate. Like they do fucking crazy shit. Like in The Godfather, they cut off a horse's head, the prize horse's head, and put it in this motherfucker's bed. And when he wakes up, and I want to see the scene. If you've never seen Godfather, huh?
No.
Well, the dude, Tom Hagen, he's this real calm, collective dude. He's the one who does all that stuff. They never show it, but I want to see it. I want to see this calm motherfucker go get a saw and was like, yeah, I need a saw that could, go through a horse's neck.
That's terrible.
And then saw it, bring it up to this dude's room, leave it there, leave without being noticed, and then this guy waking up. Ian McKellen, right? I believe that was Ian McKellen who woke up with the horse's head.
I don't remember.
But it was fucking crazy. So mob threats. This dude puts a golf ball in his mouth
Oh, yeah.
and whacks that shit. And just like, hey, don't be fucking up. And then sends him on his way.
Honestly, that's some pretty boss stuff.
That's
To
the
just do
bosses.
that?
I would. Where are you going?
I'll be back. Bring some water, please. Thanks.
No, don't do it. All right, so yeah.
Thirsty.
So then Stanley has a dream that he's at the Coco Bongo Club and everything goes
He's
right this time.
charming and
He was
stuff.
like, I didn't want to go in anyway. And then he meets Cameron Diaz. Oh, I forgot her name already. Oh, Tina. And
yeah.
she's
sure
just
it's not Tina.
I just put it in there. It's Tina. Tina is her name. Tina.
Oh, yeah, it is
No,
Tina.
it's
It
too
is
late.
Tina. I did put Tina.
It's too late. No, it's too late.
Okay.
And then he's like, yeah. So then he wakes up because it turns out it was a dream and Milo was licking him. Milo's a dog. He becomes a huge part in this movie.
Yeah.
Dog actors, man. They deserve Oscars.
Honestly, like, that's crazy how you can train a dog to act.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, that's pretty crazy.
I think it's crazier to train a monkey, but
I mean,
I would not be in a movie with a monkey. That's like my only rule.
especially after seeing Nope.
That was hard. That was a hard watch.
Yeah.
That scene, and I'm just like, yeah, but I don't fuck with monkeys, man.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, that's dangerous.
Oh, God, it was
It's
so
a hazard.
Bad. It was so bad.
Now we're at the point.
He wakes up.
contemplates and decides to put the mask on again.
He does.
And he goes and robs his bank.
Well, yeah, he says, but first, a little withdrawal, because
yeah.
he's like, I'm about to go to the Coco Bongo Club, get my girl or whatever. And he goes, they're trying to, at the same time when Nico and his crew are still like, we're still going to rob that bank. And they still go and do
He
it.
passes him up.
Yeah, he just goes in, comes out, and they try to shoot him. He starts hitting them with the whatevers, and then he leaves. And they're just like, yo, what the fuck? And that's when the cops come, and then they shoot the only black dude in this movie.
They did.
And he's the one who I actually see die. That's what I mean.
He did die, huh?
So he comes, because that's when the mask goes. He goes to the club, and he's cartooning it up while Tina's performing. And they get back, the crew who robbed the bank, and they're like, yo, everything went to shit. this is fucking crazy. Somebody got there before we did. He was like, who did? And he was like, that guy down there, the guy dancing with Tina.
He's
and he was just
literally
like,
dancing
shit.
with her.
And that's when the black guy dies because he's just like, we didn't get it done. He was like, that's okay, man. Here, have a smoke. And then he dies.
Have a smoke.
The only black guy in this movie.
Well,
dead.
It was common back then.
Yeah, still. Well, I guess technically there's 2, but
Oh.
yeah, we'll get to it. Oh. But yeah, so he's doing it's this dance number with Tina and the mask, and it's I don't know. I guess it's fine.
It's kind of corny.
It is very kind of corny.
Her lip syncing skills,
and it takes too long.
Yeah,
this is Chicky Bum.
No, this is when they're in the club doing was it the Cherry Poppin' Daddies, a song that they did back in the
yeah.
But you go some shit like that. One of those fake swing songs from the 90s.
Yeah.
Fucking swing in the 90s. Get shit out of here.
So let's see what happened. So they shoot at him and a piece of his tie falls off and it turns to normal.
And that is weird in and of itself to me because I feel like if the mask is changing his clothes completely or whatever the case may be, then a piece of that shouldn't just fall. It should just disintegrate and be nothing. Yeah,
because honestly, your clothes aren't even attached to you.
Yeah, because he could keep changing. So it's like,
but maybe it's whatever is touching him.
So how do they just? It's just weird. I think it's a weird.
Stupid. His little what do you call that handkerchief that's in the pocket? Mm-hmm. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it is. It's a handkerchief.
Okay, sorry. But like that's
having trouble with words today.
Well, it's not attached to him,
It's just weird.
Still turns.
It's a whole thing. He wears the scarf at one point. It's I don't know, man. So they're all shooting at him, and then
they kick everyone out of the club, and they try to get him, and they can't shoot him.
Or he fakes that he did get hit once.
Oh yeah.
With the coughs.
I put dying seeing LOL with word acceptance. He's like, I like how extreme his coughs are.
Yeah, what is it? Tell Annie M I'm not coming home for Christmas or all this other. He's just doing stuff like
all these lines from other movies.
The dude who's holding him is crying.
then they come the applauses and the awards.
Like, where the fuck did they come from?
They really like me.
That's why I'm like, that's a real life cartoon because if I'm there, I'd be like, yo, where the fuck did these? What the fuck is happening? I can see them. You see them, right?
Well, was Dorian in there at that time?
It was they were all there.
They were looking at it too. Like, what the heck?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like, what if you're on the other side of that? What do you see?
You guys see what's going on?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would be tripping balls. I'd be like, yo, I'm not the only one who's seeing this, right? Like, that's a silhouette of a studio audience.
So here's my favorite thing about any movie where stuff weird happens. Once again, the weird factor for everyone else around is not at a level that it should be.
Oh no, this is normal. They're just like, all right, whatever, shoot them.
Yeah. It's like, I would be like mesmerized, like, what the heck is going on?
If he can do that.
And then he just leaves.
Let's take a break. Let's regroup real quick.
Yeah, he's just like, I want you guys to find him. I don't want to bring him yet. I'm going to kill him.
He did say it like that, though.
It's fucking stupid. This dude sucks, by the way. I don't know who he is, but he sucks.
You're not scared of whatever kind of being this is.
Wasn't that the same dude from Blue Street?
Blue Street, yeah, that is him.
Yeah, he sucked in that, too. It's a good movie, but
he's good at being menacing. I will say that
he's good at being nonchalantly menacing because he wasn't like full menacing in any way, shape, or form.
No, but I'm talking about the presence. It's not.
Well, that's because he has a weird face.
No, he's got the kind of.
He does. He has a very don't brush shoulders with that guy face because he stabs people. Like
he's a guy who can always be like a right hand man to a boss, but never a boss.
He feels like he's doing a bad Andrew Dice Clay impersonation. If you don't know who that is, I suggest you just YouTube it because he's a funny dude. But that's what he sounds like. Right Andrew Dice Clay is like he sounds like he belongs in the mafia, but his presence is a little more because. He's a comedian, so it's like grandstanding and stuff like that. He's good at it. This dude is just like he's trying to do his impression. Yeah, he's good. It's funny.
Yeah, you'd have to
I know
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so he
The
leaves.
police come in, right?
Yeah, and they're like, and he finds the tie. He was like, "Ip kiss." Fucking asshole.
Immediately.
He was like, "Of course, no one else in the entire
so
history of
crazy.
anything could ever have these
But-
pajamas."
It's
Well,
like,
he did say
not-
that because he had commented on his
did.
pajamas.
He was like, "Well, that sounds ridiculous." Like, no, those pajamas are ridiculous.
Oh, he did.
But yeah, so this whole thing happens. Stanley starts to get a little more confidence as Stanley because his boss is like, "Hey, you're late. If you do it again, we're gonna dock it out your pay." He was like, "Bro, if you don't get the fuck out of my face," he was
so
like,
many words.
"Okay."
Well, this
All
is
right.
but before that, the detectives go to Stanley's apartment
Again,
And
because now he's got all the money in there.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
And the dog is trying to open the closet and stuff like that.
his own
he was
dog
like-
betraying him.
Because then he's like, "Oh yeah, what happened to these pajamas?" He's like, "Oh, those were stolen." He was like, "Somebody stole your pajamas." He was like, "Yeah, it's fucking crazy. There's pajama thieves out there just stealing pajamas." What are these? I don't know. These are bad cops because even if you bought that shit, which once again, all cops are stupid in movies.
Yeah.
He's just like, "All right, I guess we don't have any more questions here for now." And I mean, they didn't have a warrant, so they couldn't just search the place, so that works.
And that wasn't really evidence, so
It's not. It's like it's almost the lack of evidence. You're like a piece of pajamas. It was like, and you thought,
Well, it could put somebody at the scene.
sure,
per se.
but of all people, you've met Stanley.
But until there can actually be a connection, they can't
yeah,
really.
I mean circumstantial, yes,
Because it would have been made more sense instead of questioning him first to ask witnesses if they saw a guy fitting
Looking like him,
Stanley.
right? His description.
And they'd have like, no, but there was this green dude.
Random.
We should probably be looking for him, which is weird that they don't even have that information.
Yeah, all those people in the club.
Nobody
and-
said, yeah, this
Not
guy
a single
was
person. Yeah,
really
he came out.
green.
He turned into his head turned into a wolf at one point.
Nobody-
Like, it was fucking crazy.
Nobody was like, yellow suit.
Yeah, he had a yellow zoot suit. He looked like Tom in that episode.
Yeah.
He started doing cartoon stuff. He was dancing. He literally spinned a girl to where she made a dent in the floor. Like, it's fucking crazy. This whole thing is
and
fucking
she
insane.
should have thrown up.
She should be dead.
Honestly,
she
yeah.
should be dead.
Her brains all shook.
They're
up inside.
scrambled. She's got concussions out the wazoo. She can't see straight. The next time she talks to somebody, she go, "But I don't talk so good." She don't sound like boxers when they do commentary.
Goodness gracious.
You ever heard a boxer do commentary? Like an old boxer who took a lot of hits to the head?
This is
Man,
terrible.
they be like, and in the fourth quarter, in the third round, you know, you the jabs got to go jabbing. I'm like, yo,
Yikes.
that's enough, man.
Yikes.
You should get that looked at. You got to see a professional. But yeah, so this shit starts getting crazy.
In the meantime, Dorian's offering money to anyone who finds the masked guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
This green head monster.
that's when the cops go to Stanley's job, and Stanley goes off on his boss, and Charlie invites him to a club again.
Yeah,
Now
what the
we'll
fuck is
go
wrong with
nowhere
Charlie,
with
man? Charlie, but I mean, I get it. Charlie is
The only one who's even slightly there for him.
yeah, because Charlie's a friend. He's trying to get him out of his shell, and you know, because that's his whole thing. He just lacks the confidence, and he doesn't have it because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm with it. He talks to Ben Stein. Ben Stein's in this movie, boring it up.
Oh yeah, he went to him because he was
He did see. I guess he watched something earlier where he's like a mask, and he has a book called "Everyone Wears Masks."
yeah.
Or some shit like that. So he goes to talk to him about this mask. He's like, "Oh, well, this is a mask of Loki."
Well, he's talking figuratively.
Well, no, he tells
Yeah.
him first that it is a mask of Loki
but
and
he's
stuff
talking,
like that.
But he's talking to him like these figurative
Oh, yeah.
masks, like the mask that people wear.
Well,
to
before
cover who
that,
they
you
are.
guys keep missing stuff. I
Well,
got
what
my
did we
detailed
miss?
notes.
I don't have notes.
When Tina tells Stanley she won't start an account and wonders if they
Because she's leaving. Is that what she does?
I think so.
This is when she says she's leaving.
Yeah. And
It's all
then-
boring stuff.
But no. Stanley says he's got an old friend from college or something like that. I think he sets her up or something.
Well, he says that no, because she talks about how she met this dude, and he says he knows him, and that they're old friends from college, and that's how he sets up their little meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Which is stupid as hell. He's like, yeah, I know him. Yeah, we go way back.
Yeah.
We go away. She's like,
Oh,
really?
he's saying that's right. You're right. Yeah.
You know, you're just such a nice guy. And he's just like, yeah, I'll hook you up with me.
That's but that's when it talks about the expert. He goes to the expert and they talk. It's an artifact from a Norse god.
I'm curious because at this scene when that happens, like, did they depict this stuff in the?
No.
Okay, I could.
It's not really like that. It's
good.
overly boring. Like, he does go and talk to a Ben Stein-esque character, and he tells him what the Mask of Loki is. But he doesn't. Right. This is like, because he goes there and he basically asks him, okay, should I go as the Mask or myself? And he was like, I don't know, do whatever the fuck you want. He was like, which one is going to get you out of my office?
Yeah.
Right.
And he goes.
He tries to show how the mask works, and it doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, and it doesn't work.
Well, he does tell him, he was like, Loki is a night god, so his powers only work under the moonlight.
Okay. Then they had big time, because I don't think it was like that in the Son of the Mask. I think it did.
No, Son of the Mask was all over the fucking place.
It was.
Son of the Mask, and
that's terrible.
That
was terrible.
They made hair look stupid. Like, how do you do that? That fucking plastic hair. That was dumb. That whole movie was dumb. Jamie Kennedy is terrible. Like, how was he? Who thought that was a good idea at any point where he was like, this guy should be the leading man in movies? Like, no, man. You were lucky to be in Three Kings, dude. Be happy with that. You got to be in Scream. It was one of the biggest movies of the 90s.
Yeah. That's really how he jumped off.
Yeah, You got to be, he was in movies, but he shouldn't be leading anything.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, because he had that stupid prank show.
Well, that was actually a good show, the Jamie Kennedy Experience.
I disagree.
Experiment.
That was when the WB was at its end days.
Yikes.
Okay, it was good.
I think I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So he goes to the park and meets Tina, and then he leaves because
he's like, well, guess I'll go get my friend.
He's like, I gotta go, and he's like running away, and she's like, wait. And
she's too stupid to see what just happened.
It's like it's Superman all over again.
And
he goes behind the bush. He goes behind the bush. That's all he does. And then the mask comes in.
And he is Pepe Le Pew. Yeah. Oh my god! I think I literally put that in my notes.
That's what I was wondering.
Yep.
In the comic, did they depict that?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Did they go like too deep with it?
I mean, it didn't get there, but he's a vulgar dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so I literally put that in my notes. The mask becomes Pepe Le Pew because that's what happens. This dude becomes as rapey as possible in a matter of seconds, and then I'm like, I never picked that up as a kid. I just thought she was being a prude, but it turns out he's the asshole.
Yeah, because she was trying to get away.
Yeah.
She was trying to get away desperately.
He was like, and then
that's why it's bad because she was trying to get away desperately.
She kneed this nigga in the balls and tried to run. He was like, "Oh, I like it when they run."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like that is fucking crazy."
I think that was literally after Pepe Le Pew.
Oh shit!
This movie, that part wouldn't have passed these days.
And then the cops show up because they know where he's gonna be.
Yeah. Although they can't figure nothing else out.
So then they arrest him and they do the pockets gag where he's got a bunch of shit in his pockets.
And
it's a picture of his wife.
Of his wife.
Of the cop, the main cop, whatever his name is. Doyle, I don't remember the other one's name.
Oh.
And then
Galloway. Or Calloway, one of those. Calloway, there it is.
Yeah. He tricks the cops. How does he trick the cops?
He just does a little fucking Looney Tunes gag and cuffs them together by slapping them in the face.
And then he runs off, and there's more cops, and then that's when they do the little dance.
Oh,
Cuban
Pete. Hell yeah.
This is long, too.
That's why I like this one.
It's fine until it keeps going.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. You got to cut that shit off halfway through, though, man. God. I think
it was pretty long.
Is that Veronica Vaughn in that movie too? Because I think she's the cop who starts singing.
Oh.
And it looked like her because I was like, I think I said the exact same thing when I said it. Hold on. keep talking.
Okay, so anyways.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, he's all dancing and stuff like that. He sneaks off. It looked like the cops were having a good time too. And he sneaks off. He actually takes the mask off. And Peggy, she shows
She
up
just
out of nowhere.
happens to be. I really didn't understand how she was.
Not just that, everybody knows everything because she knows exactly where he's going. Well, I don't know how she knew he was the mask. That part's weird.
Yeah.
But she did. And
she's a journalist.
Well, she's smarter than the cops. That's
right.
She's
a journalist. They're implying
Sure.
she would know because she's investigative.
well,
you know,
I mean, they still kind of imply that she's stupid. But
well, yeah.
I would say that given the commotion, it wouldn't be hard to figure out where something was happening. There's a lot of shit going on. I'd be like, there are helicopters and everything out there.
Yeah.
You know, go there. You'll probably
but
find
to know
them.
exactin who it is.
She just saw, because he took off the mask and was
yeah.
like chilling.
But how did she know where he was? Like,
and that's the thing. She was like, Stanley, get in. And then he gets in and they start shooting at him. I'm like, everybody is just like, wait, how did that guy get here? Now you know. Now all of a sudden it's, he's the mask. But then they still don't know because
they don't.
Yeah.
The movie is so weird in that way. Because then, she takes him to this abandoned paper mill.
She plays him.
Yeah, she's just like, well, we're not all good. She takes the mask and then she's like, all right, Dorian, you can get her. You can come in now. And Dorian comes in. Which that's why I said it implies that she's stupid because Dorian knew where they were going to be. Like, he's the one who knew that apparently Stanley was the mask.
Yeah. How did he know?
I just don't. He didn't. He clearly didn't. Nobody here knew. It's just, this thing jumps so fast that it's like nobody knows. Everybody knows. Wait, nobody knows again. Like, it's so weird. Like, because then.
And least of all the cops.
Because he gets this mask and he's like, I like this. He is. Dorian is gross with this fucking mask on.
He looks disgusting. He is not attractive in any way.
That takes on a whole nother something, boy.
Yeah,
he's not attractive in any way. Like, at least the mask is attractive. I don't know.
I mean, it was weird. It was just a green. It was just a green mask on a Jim Carrey head. This shit.
But I'm saying
this is Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno. Like, it's fucking weird because he's just like his eyes are red. And I was like, if the mask brings out what's already in you,
this dude
he's just the mobster. Like, he's not the
like,
devil.
Well, but
he's like the Bowser.
It just proves that he inside his soul.
It's like, what else do you want? I thought money was the thing.
No, he wants power.
Man, this dude. Well, look, you got it now. And then they fucking set up Stanley. They were like, they throw him out of a moving car onto the detectives, and he was like, Ipkiss, what the fuck are you doing here? He was like, I'm turning. I don't know what they think. They're like, oh, we found you or whatever. And then they find this.
They drop him off in front of the cops. But this was after.
No, they throw him on the cops.
Yeah. But this was after they go to his apartment, and take his money. And then. They drive when they drove off. The dogs run after.
Oh yeah, the dog.
The dog. Yeah, there we go. And then that's when they drop him off at the cops, and he goes to jail, and the dog sleeps outside of his jail cell.
Well, they put a big rubber green mask in him, so they find it, and that's all the evidence they needed.
And a crazy looking mask at that. It's like, really?
He was like, I can explain everything. They're like, oh, explain this. He was like. It was ugly as fuck. Yeah. So basically, he gets to jail. Milo's there and he sleeps out there. He's like, just forget about me, Milo. I'm gonna die in here. And he's just like
he was in prison.
And it was sad as fuck. But then Tina comes to visit him and they share a gross kiss. And he's like, well, now I gotta save the world. He gets like geeked up for it all of a sudden.
That's when Milo comes to the rescue.
Yeah, this took too long, too.
Yeah, Milo's jumping up there, like, I don't know how many floors up.
Yeah. It seemed really high before all of a sudden the dog was jumping up. A terrier at that. Like, it wasn't even a big dog.
I used to think, this is how actual jails and prisons were, because they always made it have
that window on the outside.
I'm like,
it's just one, so they only have the one cell. But because he wasn't in prison, he was in a holding cell in a police station, which only really they don't do that now. That's really a movie thing.
There are no windows when you go into jail. None.
Well, that wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, because of all the escapes.
Yeah. That's what
You ever seen The Great Escape?
No.
Well, he did it like 100 times.
Okay.
That's all Steve McQueen did was escape from jail
yeah.
movies.
Wow.
They're like, you want to do it again? He was like, fuck yeah.
You want to see me do it again?
Yeah, he's done other stuff, but most of it was like escape from jail movies.
Let's see. Tina gets caught up. That's what I put in my notes. Tina gets caught up by Dorian. I don't remember.
He
what
was
happens.
like, yeah, you.
Oh,
need
you're
to
in
get
love
in the
with
car.
him and stuff. Oh, you like him or something like that.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I see you try to like this guy, don't you? Oh, hey.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
And then
doof.
cut back to Milo. He jumps in, sneaks the keys from the sleeping cop, and sneaks a gun from the cop.
After he knocks him out.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He was just sleeping on the job. Let that nigga sleep.
And then I put here gets the detective to walk him out of the police
Right.
He does.
Yeah. He gets him to act
Because
like
he puts a gun to his back. And
Right.
he's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but he's like he's acting like he wanted him to act like he's got him.
yeah. Which is stupid because you don't take him away from the jail.
Yeah. He said, what did he say though?
He said something in pig Latin to Doyle as like code, and then
Doyle's
Doyle's like, "Oh, I get it, pig Latin."
but he
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Fucking idiot, man. Cops. How are they getting hired? So they go. They get there. He gets Charlie, and they're like, or he sees Charlie, and he's like, "All right, shit's about to get crazy up in here. I'm gonna go save the day." And then that's when
You're
Dorian.
talking about when they get to the place.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Dorian had already gotten there, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to put on this mask." Because one of the dudes, I think was it Nico, was there?
So, well, yeah. What's going on here? It's a ball for it's
charity
a ball
ball.
for war orphans funds. That's what
That's
it said.
fucking hilarious.
And that's when Mass Dorian decides to come in,
Max Dorian.
and
He's like, "Sorry,
they
I'm here to bust up your party." He talks like
Yeah.
a fucking idiot.
It was
Like,
weird.
I don't understand that because it's like, you already told me that he's evil. Why is he talking like he doesn't know how to read sentences?
I don't know.
Because he does that every time when the whole time he's in the mask, he's talking in broken sentences.
They
It's
made
like,
him a big dumb love.
is it hard to talk in the mask?
When you're big, muscly, powerful, you get dumber somehow.
But it's the mask. Like,
Movie
you can
logic.
still be smart. You can still,
I don't
talk.
know. Not in this case.
It's
Movie logic.
It's so dumb.
And let's say it gets the things that are truly you.
Oh yeah, so this is when Nico's dudes they shoot at him and
He was like,
he's,
"What the fuck you think you doing in there, Dorian?" I'm like, "No, stop talking to him. He's got that big green mask on. His eyes are red. Stop acting like this is normal. Why is everyone
and
acting
first of all,
like this
how can
is
you tell
normal?"
it's Dorian? It's the hair.
Well, because
maybe.
he did because he I think he puts the mask on
Yeah,
in
I think
there.
yeah.
He doesn't come in with it, but he puts
Right.
it on to like
And
kind of
that'd
show.
be weird.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
like, that's what I'm saying. But this
You
dude
should
is talking.
be disturbed.
He was like, "Dorian, you piece of shit." I'm like, he's gonna kill you now. You had to have known. You had to have known that was coming.
They
Yeah.
shoot at him, and then that's when Dorian he spits the bullets out. Literally,
Yeah.
spits them back. And
It's fucking stupid.
and Stanley he runs in, and
Gets caught.
he did, huh?
He gets
Yeah.
caught immediately. Like
Yeah.
He told Charlie, if I don't come back in like 5 minutes, go get the cops or some shit.
Right.
Well,
right.
he's Charlie. He asked Charlie to sneak people out back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what
yeah,
he
he
does.
And then he goes against the cops apparently.
Milo runs out of the car, I guess, and runs
Because
in.
Milo does what he wants to do. This is not a
Oh
well
yeah, because
trained.
that cop is in the car.
Yeah, the
It's,
Callaway.
handcuffed.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
okay.
I remember stuff without notes.
He was like, "Smart dog."
He did.
Nah, he just jumped out of a window. He's not a fucking smart man.
Oh, and then Dorian
Smarter
at this
than
point,
you.
Dorian wants the one last kiss from Tina.
Oh well, yeah, because he has this
Ew.
bomb. He puts this bomb here. He puts Tina on the bomb. He's like, "I'm gonna kill everybody because that's the point, I guess." Crescendo, and then Tina tries to do the tricky thing because she's slowly trying to get out of here.
He's like, take your mask off.
Yeah, he was like,
There's
no.
always time for one
He's like,
last kiss.
no, not that, Dorian. I want you as I remembered you. And I was like, you're an idiot, Dorian. You fall for this trick. This stupid blonde. Come on, man.
I know you got power. You can.
You're
still-
already here.
you-
Just
you
blow
can
her up.
steal
You're
the
going to blow her
kiss.
up anyway. There's not time for one last kiss. Just let it happen. Just go.
No, there's always time.
Always. Literally always.
He had the courtesy enough to be like, all right. No,
And then he took off the mask and they're gross kissing.
Yeah.
All the kissing in this movie is gross, man.
That's true.
And she kicks the mask and then it's flying and everyone's reaching for it. And then
The dog
Milo
grabs
gets it, which this thing looks terrible. Even then, it just looks bad. It's like
No, not even then.
I think it still looked pretty bad. I think because they tried to make his lower half still look real instead of just making it all like it's still all animated, but they really tried to make the not head look like there was a real dog doing stuff, and it's weird because the head moves kind of independent, and it is kind of gross. It's very gross, honestly.
Now that I'm looking
definitely
at it,
gross.
but
His eyes are all over the place, and he's doing crazy shit. He's biting
So
people.
what's inside of him? A
Fun.
rabid dog?
A rabid dog, clearly. He wants to be a wild dog.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he's fucking with a bunch of people, bites some dude in the ass. Stanley finally gets the mask off of him, and now he's the mask again. And then they're like, shoot him after he meatballs the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he hits him with that thought, that's spicy meatball.
Oh,
yeah.
He flushes Dorian down the water fountain drain.
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
he's not a cartoon anymore. How does Dorian it's so weird
Because
the
everything
physics of this
sees-
world
yeah.
is so weird because it's one thing to be like, oh, he can make a Tommy gun. Oh, he can dodge bullets
They really bent the rules just so they can put what they want.
Because he literally colored a flush on there with a paintbrush, and then just flushed them, which I think is weird because it's like I said, the physics of this world don't make sense. Obviously it's the mask, but the mask doing things on his own is one thing.
Well,
the mask affecting everything around him is another. That's too much. Because it's one thing for him to be like, make the Tommy gun or do the tornado thing and stuff like that. But it's another thing to literally affect everyone around him the same way. Like, Cameron Diaz would be dead if she got spun like that. She's dead already. Like this whole thing is like a fever dream that she's having right before she dies. Doesn't make any sense. Also, when Dorian starts to put on the mask, there's like a cloud.
Yeah.
Like a thunder cloud. I thought that was weird as fuck.
I mean, because does it not go? I mean, I don't know. I've never read the comics, but does it go based off of who you are? Your personality?
No, it has the same effect for pretty much because only two people get it as far as we know in the comics. It's Stanley gets it, then he gets killed, and then somebody else this girl ends up with it, and she just becomes like the mask, just like the same thing. The mask itself is the power, right? So it's not like the user it affects based on what you do. Like in this, it's like, oh, he turns into Wolfie at the bar because he watched the cartoon.
Right, because he watched the cartoon.
And that's something that what Stanley would do.
Right.
And then Dorian gets it and he becomes fucking Ugly Hulk. And he just, that's it. Like he just becomes Ugly Hulk. Like in the comics, there's no real differentiation. It is, you get the mask, you get the power.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the physics. How did he flush Dorian? And that was a bad.
Where did he
go? That's my question. Where did he go?
You're not gonna forget, obviously.
Because both him and Cameron Diaz are just looking like watching him go, and then you hear that it goes down, and then there's the burp, and I'm just like, that's enough. That's a fucking enough movie.
They took a lot of liberties.
I mean, sure, but also.
They said it's already wacky anyway. It was wacky.
I needed to look. You showed a black dude die, and I need to see Dorian die.
Right, not just
get flushed. Because, like you said, where did he go? How do we even know he's dead? This is cartoon shit. For all we know, that thing didn't do anything.
Right.
Like, and when he takes off the mask, everything goes back to normal. And Dorian just shows up somewhere, like in the Hudson, like, oh shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, does it undo all the stuff that he's done? Like, if he gets shot and the tie forms, wouldn't that make a lot of sense for a lot of the other stuff he's affected?
Yeah.
It would.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like that Tommy gun. What happened to that thing? Did it turn back into nothing when he took the mask off later? Because he just drops it.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's weird. I'm just saying. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
All the stuff disappears when he's not the mask. That's what I would think.
And then we get to the end of this movie, and
he takes off the mask. The cops come in. They conclude that it was Dorian because everybody's like, Dorian.
He was like, arrest Ipkiss, and it's the mayor, the only other black guy in this movie.
Yeah,
where he's like, you idiot, we saw it was Dorian the whole time. And he was like, what? No, you're fired. I want you in my office, but you're fired, or some shit like that. And yeah, so they got it. It was Dorian the whole time.
And I guess all three of them, Charlie, Stanley, and Tina, go to throw the mask in the water.
Well, they all go. I still don't understand. Once again, this is my bigger problem with a lot of movies. This relationship doesn't make any sense. Like, it's very circumstantial. She didn't even like this dude. She was using him from the beginning.
Right.
And then when she was in trouble, she was still using this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the end, they get to be together. That doesn't make any sense.
They don't have anything in common.
There's no
otherwise.
reason for them. Like, if Peggy didn't become like a turncoat, that would have made more sense.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But this doesn't.
That really disappointed
This
me.
doesn't.
Like, man, there's a chance for Stanley. I'm like,
Right.
Aw.
And then she turned out to be a douchebag.
Yeah.
Turncoat.
Yeah. Well,
Turncoat.
whatever.
Turn in the coat.
Oh, have the turntables.
Have the turntables. But yeah, so he throws the mask. They kiss. Charlie and Milo both go after it, which
Milo gets.
I was like,
wow.
has nobody been paying attention? I don't know if I want to put this thing on.
Right. After all this has gone
Have
on.
we forgotten that he almost killed some guy with the muffler up his ass? Like, you don't have control over what happens,
He didn't care.
Charlie.
Charlie didn't care.
And you're already cool. Like, what do you need? You're fine, Charlie.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then that was the end.
That is the end.
But to be honest, if we were talking real, that wasn't the end.
Yeah, because Dorian's still alive somewhere,
more to this.
flushed up in Garbage Island or some shit.
He's mad and he's ready to.
He's coming back for revenge.
Yeah.
He's like,
for
you got the
sure.
mask of Loki. He's gonna go find the hammer of fucking Thor or the hand of tears, something like that from Norse mythology. Who knows? It's all
Who the
fucking weird.
heck knows?
But anyway,
Who goes first?
Well, since it's none of our movie, huh? We just
I'll go.
we're doing rock paper scissors.
I still like this movie. It's got a lot of continuity issues.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of like things that it's not a movie that I can watch like I used to. It's a movie that I have to watch if it's on because I can't go out of my way for this one anymore. But it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's harder. It's tougher
Oh, yeah.
because there's just so much like glaring things that you can
scrutinize.
see where they're just like, oh, nobody knows, everybody knows, nobody knows, everybody knows, nobody knows, and they still don't know. Even at the end, after everyone knows, no one knows. It's so
Exactly.
it's so stupid. But yeah, I'll give this like a 6 out of 10. I think it's still pretty good. It doesn't hold up well, but it doesn't really matter. So it's the way it works.
So, according to the month that it was in, which was the movie So Bad
They're good.
They're good. So
Yeah. No, I think it's still 6 out of
holds
10.
up.
I think it's still a movie that's pretty bad, but it's entertaining enough that it's good.
Yeah. That's why it's such an iconic movie.
I think that might be a strong choice of words.
Well, I mean,
It is.
I think
It's
it
a
is
cult
a
classic.
cult classic. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's iconic. That's crazy.
Sort of, a little bit.
Iconic is a strong
No,
word to
you
just be
can't be a
throwing
little
around,
bit
man.
iconic.
You either are or you aren't.
That's
Whatever.
not how that works.
Whatever.
This was also a crazy like year for Jim Carrey in general because I think it was like this, Ace Ventura, Batman. Batman. He was doing a lot of
He's
shit.
all over the place.
That wasn't in that same year.
Was it? Was
I
it
don't
this
think
year?
So.
Well,
It was close,
You
though.
do your thing and I'll look it up. Do your thing and I'll look it
anyway.
up.
I can't say it was a year.
So I will say, yeah. I mean, it was always entertaining to me, and it is still entertaining, even with all the little things that you can't help but notice. I mean, we notice things in all movies, but there's some really obvious continuity issues and how something happened even from the very beginning, starting with those scuba divers. It's just, that was a moment that like was not what's the word, it wasn't jiving with what, let's
All
say,
right.
why was that?
Batman Forever was the year after, but
Okay.
in this movie he had The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, he
Crazy
did a
year.
lot after Living Color. He blew up. And so yeah, I'm same. I'll give it a 6. Enjoyable, but again, yeah, no, I wouldn't go out of my way. But it was funny. I love Jim Carrey. He's hilarious.
Okay. Well, well, yeah, no, I still enjoy it. I hadn't seen it in a long time since I was younger, and I still enjoy it because I like Jim Carrey, and I think he he played a good Mask. Being
The cartoon
kooky
character,
and
yeah.
goofy. I think honestly, this movie would have been that much better. The violence was like more.
We up that we up that body count. Now we're talking.
Yeah, if
Wow.
it would have been rated R, that would have been.
Oh yeah, and he would have been off the chain, obviously,
Yeah.
because he does thrive. When we think about movies, one movie in particular, of his that I just cannot really watch. You know what it is?
Is it Cable Guy?
No,
And I don't know.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, that movie's dope.
I've never seen it.
That movie's gross.
Okay, I was doing my
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
she went crazy.
thanks, but yeah. So I give it a 7. Because I still enjoyed watching it regardless, because Jim Carrey is entertaining. I haven't seen anything he's not entertaining, even in his his movies that aren't goofy, in his more serious movies.
Look at his face. What?
Because
I
you said that, I was like, I thought of one right off the top of my head.
What?
The one that we did, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I didn't like that movie.
I actually liked it. I enjoyed it.
I didn't like it.
I enjoyed
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I was
like it.
confused a lot.
It was a departure,
but I liked
but
It was, but I like some of his departure stuff. Like the number 23 was pretty good until that
I
twist.
couldn't watch that.
I never seen that.
That's
like
decent.
a-
It's a decent movie.
Like
Something
a
to do with
horror
chromosomes?
film.
Well,
ain't
no,
it?
it's a psychological thriller.
Okay.
It's not really a horror. film.
Okay.
What's the 23 chromosomes?
Oh, you gotta watch. It's everything. It is. It literally is everything. It's the number 23.
Chromosomes.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway.
That's the only number I can connect that to.
So you have to watch the movie. It's everything. Everything. It's 23. All the words add up to 23 and stuff like that. Like it's weird. It's stupid. But
Yeah,
it's like
never watched it.
you'll watch it once. It's a stupid twist at the end of it. It's just dumb. But yeah.
I can't trust your judgment. You think things are stupid.
It is, because it is a stupid twist, and it's a stupid. Like when you watch the, you'll see. I'll tell you off air because I don't want to spend too much time. All right, so
don't say anything. I'm gonna watch it.
no, I'm gonna tell you anyway.
No,
So anyway, turns out
no, we're not doing it on that movie. Let's move on. What are we gonna watch next week? What are we talking about next week?
I don't like to say I will, and we'll see what happens. Since it's the only one. Well, I don't know if you guys ended up watching Waterboy. Did you guys watch it?
Only a million times.
Well, but did you guys watch it? We were supposed to do it.
we did watch it.
we watched it.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna do Beetlejuice then, because it's the one we haven't watched.
Oh.
I've seen it a million times.
She probably could recite
I don't
it.
care. It's okay. That's not the point. We're gonna watch it anyways as a family and have a good time watching a movie together.
Oh, good. JJ loves that. JJ loves the movie.
Yeah,
so
maybe he'll sit.
that makes me happy.
All right. So you guys got anything?
What?
I don't.
I know.
I just
Mom?
wanted to have something.
What?
You got anything?
Last words?
Just anything? You want to plug something? You got a book coming out?
Yes, in 2053, I will be writing my memoirs if I survive that long.
Why 2053?
I don't know. I
That's a
just-
weird-ass number.
I'm just
Crazy.
saying, I
What
will.
is that?
I
30
will.
That's almost 30 years from now?
Yeah, I mean,
You'll
I would
be-
have really lived most of my life, so yeah,
What are you going to be, 80?
85-ish or so. Yeah, sure. 86. Hey,
Yeah, you'll be good. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
still be kicking, right?
All right. So on that
I hope you're
note,
intact. I really hope.
yeah, we are out of here.
Deuces.
I'm not gonna do it because you guys hate it so much.
Wait, I do it.
Nah, you guys are jerks.
I
I'm not
hate
doing
you.
it. That's not even it.